who has the #1 best-selling book in the country. Can you believe that? Come on. Oh, no, she's done a great job. Works very hard to help people. So I just want to thank her. But I want to thank my whole family, my amazing children. And they are amazing children. Now, we all think our children are amazing. Everybody here thinks their children are amazing, but that's a good thing when you think they are. But Don, Eric, Ivanka, Tiffany, Barron, Laura, Jared, Kimberly, Michael, thank you all. What a help. What a great. My father-in-law, Victor, is tremendous, and we miss very much Melania's mother, Amalia. We miss Amalia, don't we, huh? She would be very happy right now, standing on this stage. She'd be so proud. She was a great woman, that one. Beautiful inside and out. She was a great woman. I want to be the first to congratulate our great, now I can say, Vice President-elect of the United States, J.D. Vance. And his absolutely remarkable and beautiful wife, Usha Vance. And he is a feisty guy, isn't he? You know, I said, go into the enemy camp. And you know, the enemy camp is certain networks. And a lot of people don't like this. Sir, do I have to do that? He just goes, okay. Which one? CNN, MSDNC? He'll say, all right, thank you very much. He actually looks like, he's still like the only guy I've ever, he really looks forward to it. And then he just goes in and absolutely obliterates them. Say a couple of words here.
Wild. Well, Mr. President, I appreciate you allowing me to join you on this incredible journey. I thank you for the trust that you placed in me. And I think that we just witnessed the greatest political comeback in the history of the United States of America. And under President Trump's leadership, we're never going to stop fighting for you, for your dreams, for the future of your children. And after the greatest political comeback in American history, we're going to lead this economic comeback in American history under Donald Trump's leadership.
Thank you very much. He's turned out to be a good choice. I took a little heat at the beginning, but he was, I knew the brain was a good one, about as good as it gets. And we love the family, and we're going to have a great 4 years, and we're going to turn our country around, make it something very special. It lost that little thing called special. We have to make it so. We're going to make this so great. It's the greatest country and potentially the greatest country in the world by far. And right now, we're going to just work very hard to get all of that back. We're going to make it the best it's ever been. We can do that. If we had to wait longer, I don't know. It was going bad, and it was going bad fast. We're going to have to seal up those borders, and we're going to have to let people come into our country. We want people to come back in, but we have to let them come back in, but they have to come in legally. They have to come in legally. Let me also express my tremendous appreciation for Susie and Chris, the job you did. Susie, come here. Come here, Susie. Chris, come here, Chris. Susie likes to stay sort of in the back, let me tell you. The Ice Maiden, we call her the Ice Maiden. Chris, come here, Chris. Susie likes to stay in the background. She's not in the background. Come here, Susie.
Wasn't expected, but I just want to thank, obviously, President Trump for this journey. It was a great one, and he's a hell of a candidate. He's going to be a hell of a great 47th president. And this team that we had, the best team, and of course, even my boss, Susie Wiles, the best. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you, Susie. Look at her, she's shy. I've never seen her be shy before. Susie. They're great. Everybody up here is great. Everybody up here is very special. But the Trump, who did you say? Oh, let me tell you, we have a new star. A star is born, Elon. Now he is. Now he's an amazing guy. We were sitting together tonight. You know, he spent 2 weeks in Philadelphia and different parts of Pennsylvania campaigning. You know, he sent the rocket up 2 weeks ago, and I saw that rocket, and I saw it coming down. I saw it. It was, when it left, it was beautiful, shiny white. When it came down, it didn't look so pretty. It was going 10,000 miles an hour, and it was burning like hell. I said, what happened to your paint job? He said, we've never made a paint that could withstand that kind of heat. And, but I saw it come down and turn around. And it was, you know, it's like 22 stories tall, by the way. It looks a little smaller than that, but it's big. And it came down, and you saw that fire burning. And I'm saying, only Elon can do this. It must be an Elon. And I tell the story. I told it last night. I had a man on the phone. I had the screen muted, no sound. I was talking to a very important man, happens to be here. And that very important guy, one of the most important people in, I would say, the country, actually. But, you know, I was president, and now it looks like I was going to be maybe president again. So I figured I could ask him to hold. So I asked him to hold. And because, especially because you're going to be president again, they hold. So I took the phone down, and I'm looking at the screen. I'm seeing this crazy thing that's going around and coming down. It looks like it's going to crash into the gantry. And I said, oh, no. And I said, do me a favor, do you mind holding for a couple of minutes? I want to see this. I thought it was a space age movie or something. I put the phone down. Bad part, I didn't pick it up for 45 minutes, and he was holding. But this spaceship came down, and I saw those engines firing, and it looked like it was over. It was going to smash. And then I saw the fire pour out from the left side, and it put it straight. And it came down so gently, and then it wrapped those arms around it, and it held it. And just like you hold your baby at night, your little baby. And it was a beautiful thing to see. And I called Elon. I said, Elon, was that you? He said, yes, it was. I said, who else can do that? Can Russia do it? No. Can China do it? No. Can the United States do it other than you? No, nobody can do that. I said, that's why I love you, Elon. That's great. And you know, when we had the tragic Hurricane Helene, and it hit, in particular, hit North Carolina, they were really devastated. The water, this was a big water, as big as we've ever seen, water hurricane. It built lakes out of nothing. Fields became lakes, and the danger was unbelievable. And the people from North Carolina came to me and they said, would it be possible, at all possible, for you to speak to Elon Musk? We need Starlink. I said, what's Starlink? It's a form of communication. So I called Elon, and I'll tell you what, he had, and it was very dangerous. People would die. They had no communication. All the wires were down. I called Elon Musk. I said, Elon, you have something called Starlink. Is that right? Yes, dude. What the hell is it? He said, it's a communication system that's very good. I said, Elon, they need it really, really badly in North Carolina. Can you get it? He had that there so fast. It was incredible. So, and it was great. It saved a lot of lives. He saved a lot of lives. But he's a character. He's a special guy. He's a super genius. We have to protect our geniuses. We don't have that many of them. We have to protect our super geniuses. I want to thank some of the guys. You know, we have up here today the U.S. Open champion. He's fantastic golfer. He's slightly longer than me. It's a ball a little bit longer than me. Just a little bit. Bryson DeChambeau is up here someplace. What happened to Bryson? Where is he? Bryson. Oh, he was shot. He's hitting balls. Oh, he's on the way. He's hitting balls. Bryson. Oh, look at him. He's got a great career going. Great U.S. Open, Bryson. That's a fantastic job. And we also have a man, Dana White, who has done some job. He's a tough guy. So Dana started UFC and came to me, do you mind if I use your, nobody wanted to give him Marines because they said it's a rough sport, a little rough. And I helped him out a little bit and I went and they said, this is the roughest sport I've ever seen, but I began to like it and he loved it and nobody's done a better job in sports. And you know, he's a very motivational kind of a guy, what he does. He gets these fighters and they really go at it. And it's become one of the most successful sports enterprises anywhere at any time. It's doing so well. I'd like to ask Dana just to say a couple of words because people love to hear from him. Dana, please.
Nobody deserves this more than him, and nobody deserves this more than his family does. This is what happens when the machine comes after you. What you've seen over the last several years, this is what it looks like. Couldn't stop him. He keeps going forward. He doesn't quit. He's the most resilient, hardworking man I've ever met in my life. His family are incredible people. This is karma, ladies and gentlemen. He deserves this. They deserve it as a family. I want to thank some people real quick. I want to thank the Nelt boys, Aiden Ross, Theo Vaughn, Bussin' with the Boys, and last but not least, the mighty and powerful Joe Rogan. And thank you, America. Thank you. Have a good night.
That is a piece of work. Now he's really an amazing guy. But most of all, I want to thank the millions of hardworking Americans across the nation who have always been the heart and soul of this really great movement. We've been through so much together, and today you showed up in record numbers to deliver a victory like really, I probably like no other. This was something special, and we're gonna pay you back. We're gonna do the best job. We're gonna turn it around. It's got to be turned around. It's got to be turned around fast. And we're going to turn it around. We're going to do it in every way, with so many ways, but we're going to do it in every way. This will forever be remembered as the day the American people regained control of their country. So I just want to say that on behalf of this great group of people, these are hardworking people. These are fantastic people, and we can add a few names like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He came in. And he's going to help make America healthy again. And now he's a great guy, and he really means it. He wants to do some things, and we're going to let him go to it. I just said, but Bobby, leave the oil to me. We have more liquid gold, oil and gas. We have more liquid gold than any country in the world, more than Saudi Arabia. We have more than Russia. Bobby, stay away from the liquid gold. Other than that, go have a good time, Bobby. We're going to be paying down debt. We're going to be reducing taxes. We can do things that nobody else can do. Nobody else is going to be able to do it. China doesn't have what we have. Nobody has what we have. But we have the greatest people also. Maybe that's the most important thing. This campaign has been so historic in so many ways. We've built the biggest, the broadest, the most unified coalition They've never seen anything like it in all of American history. They've never seen it. Young and old, men and women, rural and urban. And we had them all helping us tonight. When you think, I mean, I was looking at it, I was watching it. They had some great analysis of the people that voted for us. Nobody's ever seen anything like that. They came from all corners, union, non-union, African American, Hispanic American, Asian American, Arab American, Muslim American. We had everybody, and it was beautiful. It was a historic realignment, uniting citizens of all backgrounds around a common core of common sense. You know, we're the party of common sense. We want to have borders. We want to have security. We want to have things be good, safe. We want great education. We want a strong and powerful military, and ideally, we don't have to use it. You know, we had no wars. 4 years, we had no wars, except we defeated ISIS. We defeated ISIS in record time. But we had no wars. They said, he will start a war. I'm not going to start a war. I'm going to stop wars. But this is also a massive victory for democracy and for freedom. Together, we're going to unlock America's glorious destiny. We're going to achieve the most incredible future for our people. Yesterday, as I stood at my last stop on the campaign trail, I'll never be doing a rally again. Can you believe it? I think we've done 900 rallies approximately from the, can you imagine? $901 something, a lot of rallies. And it was sad. Everybody was sad. Many people asked, this is the last rally. But now we're going on to something that's far more important, because the rallies were used for us to be put in this position where we can really help our country. That's what we're going to do. We're going to make our country better than it ever has been. And I said that many people have told me that God spared my life for a reason. And that reason was to save our country and to restore America to greatness. And now we are going to fulfill that mission together. We're going to fulfill that mission. The task before us will not be easy, but I will bring every ounce of energy, spirit, and fight that I have in my soul to the job that you've entrusted to me. This is a great job. There's no job like this. This is the most important job in the world. Just as I did in my first term, we had a great first term, a great first term. I will govern by a simple motto: promises made, promises kept. We're going to keep our promises. Nothing will stop me from keeping my word to you, the people. We will make America safe, strong, prosperous, powerful, and free again. And I'm asking every citizen all across our land to join me in this noble and righteous endeavor. That's what it is. It's time to put the divisions of the past 4 years behind us. It's time to unite. And we're going to try. We're going to try. We have to try. And it's going to happen. Success will bring us together. I've seen that. I've seen that. I saw that in the first term when we became more and more successful. People started coming together. Success is going to bring us together, and we are going to start by all putting America first. We have to put our country first for at least a period of time. We have to fix it, because together we can truly make America great again for all Americans. So I want to just tell you what a great honor this is. I want to thank you. I will not let you down. America's future will be bigger, better, bolder, richer, safer, and stronger than it has ever been before. God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
All right. Hello? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Hello? I can't hear you. Hello? Hello, you hear me? I don't hear you. Talk? Okay, all right. Well, good morning to many of the people who are living in the eastern part of the United States, New York time, and good evening to some of the others who are living on the Pacific coast, and good afternoon to brothers and sisters in Africa and Asia and other parts of the world. Tonight we have seen a historical event, an event whereby the first time ever that a president who lost the second time trying to win his party's nomination to become the president, then he comes back to win the presidency. First time in American history. This is historic. It's also the first time whereby a coalition like never before has developed. A coalition of Muslims and Jews and Blacks, Latinos and whites and Native Americans, rich and poor, all came together under one umbrella, the umbrella to transform America into a better place, a place whereby there wouldn't be any perpetual wars, a place where there would be progressive employment again, a place whereby America will re-exert itself as a decent country, but a country that is proud and happy and progressive. Mayor Donald Trump pulled off something that many people never thought he could do. That is to win the presidency again. He beat all odds. They tried to put him in jail with trumped up charges. They tried to destroy his credibility and his character by saying outrageous things about him as being a rapist and so forth. They tried to close him down, close his business down, tried to destroy him financially. But whatever he did, whatever they did, it did not stick. So this is very, very interesting. I think I would say that the world is a safer place now. That is, he promises, and I believe him, that he's not going to give any more war money to Ukraine for their war. I believe that he's going to put so much pressure on Israel there that they're going to have to stop their genocidal war against the Palestinians. Tonight, it was a landslide. Not even close. He took every major state except for California and New York. He smashed the blue wall that was in the Midwest, the wall that illustrated Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Iowa. He was able to win the Deep South, Georgia and Florida, South Carolina, Texas. Indeed, it was a historic landslide. So, what you have witnessed now is what I will call a revision or a social political revolution. One whereby the people stated they were tired of a certain type of mechanism, and they ushered in this man to present their views. He delivered, the people delivered. Also, what's interesting is that a major group that got him across were Black men. Black men who had grown tired of the 15% Black male unemployment rate in the United States, 15%, higher than any group in the country. They were tired of not being able to open up the businesses with support that other groups have. They were tired of not being able to take care of their families like they want to. So, for the first time, they said, no, they're going to find another horse to ride. They're going to get on a different train. And that train is the Trump train. They stated that they didn't care what the party stated about them, that they were going against the race. The Black man stated that they're not responsible in saving a democracy or saving the country. They didn't mess it up. They said they're only responsible to their own interests. And that was the interest of being able to provide for their families, being able to save for their future, having the opportunity to develop generational wealth. That is what we saw tonight. On the other side, we saw a campaign that floundered, a campaign that was unsure. Even tonight, when it became apparent that they lost, instead of their candidate, Vice President Harris, speaking to her supporters after they literally gave her over $1 billion, instead of saying to them, thank you, and I appreciate you, and tonight we came up short, she ran away with the message, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Don't you think this is something that the world is watching? So tonight, you can tell your children, that you witnessed something that was historic and something that we may never ever see again. Now the question is, how is he going to do the things he promised? We must let him know as well. If you don't fulfill your promise, you too will go down like Ms. Harris. The time is now that the African American, the African in the United States, the Afro-Latino, and the various groups are saying that we, the American people, we're presenting our interest, not the interest of a party, not the interest of the establishment, not the interest of corporate America, not the interest of the military complex, but the interest of the people. I know it's late. I'm excited. I'm enthused. I'm encouraged, like millions of others, not only in the United States, but throughout the world. And I say throughout the world because on an earlier show, I was speaking about the interest of the African world. And did you realize that the majority of the African leaders and the African people favored Trump over Harris? Remarkable. Maybe this will usher in a better time, a newer time, a place that America can become that entity that is spoken of in our Constitution. a place of real cultural pluralism, a place of greatness. I wish all of you a wonderful day, a wonderful night, a wonderful evening. And let us carry on. Let us continue to focus, and let us reflect on what occurred tonight. I thank you, and may God bless all of you. Good night.
Thank you, Dr. White. Can you hear me?
I hear you very well, sir.
Okay, okay. I just want to add a comical side note. I went down some of my posts that question Kamala Harris's capabilities,
Oh, yes.
and I got trashed. So before we made the connection this morning, I went back to some of those particular posts on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. They trashed me. Most people, 95% of them, erased their comments and ran just like she did to not face defeat.
Yeah.
What was this all about? Now, I just want to say that these people, not all of her supporters, but the majority of them, they are not to be trusted. But why do I say that? Am I demonizing them? If you can see how obvious she was not capable, and you defended a woman who wanted to give inmates transgendered operations over an old black woman who couldn't live off of Social Security, a special needs child who may need help, taxpayers who are paid into the system, but you want to give a free pass to let people into the country illegally and have them go in areas of the country to pad those areas so that possibly if you can get them to vote legally, it would ensure victory. These individuals who looked past everything and wanted to vote or wanted black men to vote for her because she's black. Well, what does she lay down with every night? Did she commit to black as far as marrying a black man? Then maybe she would have had a little more credibility, but not much. Look what she did in locking up all of those black men, hiding evidence for that particular brother, that he's still alive. Everything came through for him, but she didn't care if he died, got killed, and he was innocent. Ain't that something? But they say that we had to vote for her simply because she's black. And Candace Owens, whether you like it or not, broke it down.
Absolutely. You know,
You see what I mean?
we have to understand that
we're so emotional and caught up. Somehow, those who ran behind it and supported her, and was right in their faces, something's wrong with these people, and they're still here.
Yeah.
Those are the ones who, as we say, and my dear sister created this terminology, and I'll use it. I got to give credit where credit's due. Nefertiti, hollows. These people are hollow containers that anything you throw their way, they will accept. Absolutely. Because we get so caught up with emotionalism as black people, and many of the other races did too. Since I have a black face, the world will take this as a black speech.
Well, you know, Brother Lance.
Yes, brother.
She was a manufactured leader, all right?
Engineered.
I mean,
yes.
She really got into the Senate unopposed. She really got into the AG unopposed. She was manufactured. Then when she got there, you see, they didn't put her in any position where she could do anything. She was just a face in an empty suit. to do something to look a certain part. At no stage did we hear anything about anything from one of her professors who said they knew her and that she was good. No stage. We never heard anything from her father. No stage. She says she had jobs, even at McDonald's. Found no evidence for. She published books that were plagiarized. No stage. She never accomplished anything. Then they knew this, but they thought that they can put a black face in a high place, and that it would be fine with us. It was really an element of disrespecting the African American community, thinking that all of us were so dumb and gullible to fall into that. Then they put a person, yes, she's black, but she's not of African American stock, which means that she has no blood and sweat equity in the struggle that the average African American has gone through. None whatsoever. They said that she went to a church, but can't find a church she went to that she sung at when she was a little girl, because she spent most of her time not in San Francisco, but in Canada. So this is a rejection now of the thinking African American and the black in the United States that said that we're not going to be used any longer. You're not going to put a black face in a high place in front of us and expect for us to be giggly and happy and to be subservient to that. Now, tomorrow morning, it's already happened, Brother Lance. They have already begun to spin the wheels to blame the African American male for her loss. Already. Not realizing and understanding that the African American male, the black man, is a thinking individual. And they're going to vote their interest. They're not going to go another way again to just vote for a face. They're not going to go through that Obama thing. We did that with Obama. We got so happy. We voted for him. And we waited 8 years for something good to happen to us from him, and nothing ever came. So you're right. They're running. But you know, there's an old thing like Joe Louis used to say, oh great Joe Louis, the fighter. He said, you can run, but you can't hide. So while they pulled those posts down after saying such terrible and nasty things to you, they're running. But it's going to catch up with them. Because if they said it to you, they said it to other people. You know, this is a glorious night. You know? In fact,
Yes,
I'm sorry.
No, I just said, yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
You know, if,
And this is the thing. They were pushing abortion.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's a victory for those who don't like our existence.
Oh, you're right.
And the thing is, say it again, brother.
I had an argument on a line tonight about that, and I said, listen, it's not an accident that Black women between the ages of 17 and 28 are having 10 times the amount of abortions than their white counterparts, and 5 times the amount than their Latino counterparts. Why is that? No one is looking at this issue. And I said that the bigger issue is not abortions as a problem. Another issue that was ignored was maternal mortality. In our own city, Black women are 5 or 6 times more likely to die giving birth than their white counterparts. The point is that there is an attack on our family through abortions, but they have filtered an idea to our family, to our community, that is proper and is good and is available to the family. Do you notice they don't push abortions through the white community? None. White women in the United States have the least amount of abortions, which is less than 3%. You know what percentage of the abortions our children, our young people are having? 42%, Lance. 42% of the abortions are connected to our community. And we only represent 14% of the population. Something is wrong with this. Then to make that, and here's another thing that they didn't tell you about, that you realize that there is a syphilis tsunami that's taking place in Black America? No other community is going through this. But you have another issue where the Black man has his sperm count has decreased in 20 years by 0.75%. We're not producing. And you telling me this is an accident? No, it isn't. It's all interconnected. But they make you think that abortions is a normal element. It's okay. Check it out. The illegal immigrants that's coming in, they're not telling them, well, you know, you can come in, but, you know, leave your kids home. If you're pregnant, have an abortion. They're focusing on familyhood, but not with the Black community. And this is what one of the things that Ms. Harris didn't want to deal with. You know, she is a detriment to her own community, a detriment to herself. And she wasn't going to change no policies of the Biden administration. I mean, did you realize that in her administration that she was going to have, go with her, she would have won? It's the former CEO of Raytheon Arms Dealership, the #1 military supplier to the United States Army. She was also thinking about putting Liz Cheney in her cabinet, a warmonger, who is the daughter of Dick Cheney, who authored in the war that killed over 1 million people in Iraq. You see, she was a stooge, and she did not have enough sense to understand it. She would have been a detriment to her own people. And all of us who are people of African descent in the United States and throughout the world should be thankful to God, because she would have been in a position to disseminate her so-called own dark-skinned people, because she did not care. No, there's something. So, man, I wish I had in fact, I'm going to have to send you a shirt, Lance.
Please do.
You know,
And next time you come out to Ghana, bring it.
because when you walk the city tomorrow in your village, people are going to be saying congratulations to you, because the whole world has watched this thing.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
Yeah.
Just want to put an open invite to anyone who might want to come in and add on. And I thank you so much, Dr. Visa, that for you to come in. I want to mention something else to you. There's a link for anyone who might want to come in. I'm shining up the light like they did on Batman into the clouds so they can see it and come on in. There's one particular person I definitely want to have come in. I would love for it. I'm just not going to say the name, but it would overjoy me right now in this historic podcast episode if she came on in. I know she's there. But there was through routers. It came through. And it seems like over here in Ghana, and simply because I'm not in America anymore, that the algorithms that I receive changed a little bit. Certain things get through that won't get through in America, or maybe because of me, because they manipulate what you see. Now, before I even say this quick point, I want to tell everyone, oftentimes log out of your YouTube and go to the YouTube homepage logged out and notice what you see. It's going to be quite different from what you see when you logged in, because these algorithms, whatever you watch, they're going to share and present to you the same type of material, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they box you in on the wide scope of what you can see. And some of the things that you see when you log out is kind of corny, different stuff, but they hide stuff from you at the same time. They decide what you see. Now, back to the Reuters story. And thank you, Rob Brando. Thank you, Gifty Sine. I forgot the name of the gentleman who has a government position, who's in charge. And I'm going to probably add this on in the comment section and put the link in. He basically said that I, meaning him and his power over that wing of government, we're going to start restricting visas to Ghana specifically. I don't know if you ever heard this. This is within the last week. And the reason why, you heard about that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, the reason why they want to restrict visas from the United States to Ghana is that they do not want anyone coming from America to migrate to Ghana to interfere with the democracy of Ghana, in Ghana. Now, they specifically made a mention to clarify what they meant. They said that this is not for the Ghanaian government. This is not for the Ghanaian people. We're not saying this to you. And especially, I meant, maybe he meant if you're a Ghanaian living in America, that we're going to restrict it. So what does this mean? I took it as Black Americans, because Black people in America are migrating to Ghana and to other countries on the continent.
Mm-hmm.
So why would they want to restrict Black folks from coming to Ghana? Because it's not white people or any other race that leads the migration over to Ghana. It's Black people. See, he said it without saying it. So what he doesn't want are Black conscious revolutionary voices coming to Ghana specifically, right? Because he's not just in charge of Ghanaian visas. He's in charge of visas going to Germany and South America, China. So specifically Ghana. Why? We don't want anyone interfering with the democracy. So they don't want somebody like you, my brother, who has traveled most of the countries in the world, right?
Right.
They don't want somebody who is as knowledgeable as you, who has a global mindset. You are a professor of history and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I'm going to do again, I'm going to put your credentials scrolling across, and I didn't even have enough room to list out everything, because that's how vast you are. See, you're not a drop in the bucket like these people who get on and they're talking heads.
Mm-hmm.
You're the real thing. So this is why when you put out the message to everybody who is connected to you, I said, aha, I know it's late. and I just woke up. Didn't even wash my face. I had to get you on. I was polite and said, would you like to go live? But my fingers were crossed because timing is everything.
Well, you told me, and it's a good thing. But let me tell you something. You're right. They don't want certain voices in Ghana. And let's look at what's taking place in Ghana that many other people who live there may not be aware of. First of all, at that Accra airport, there's a hangar. They're just for the American military. They can get into to Ghana without visa. They can move around Ghana, and they're not allowed. But the laws that are in Ghana does not affect them. So they can rape, they can pillage, they can kill, and the laws of Ghana will not prosecute them. One of the reasons why is that there are some people in Ghana who is getting some money from the American government. And secondly, the American government don't mind doing it because many countries in the western part of Africa, as through other parts of Africa, are closing their doors to French troops, English troops, and American troops. So therefore, a voice that comes in and basically says openly, why are you doing this? It can get people to begin to think that, listen, maybe we shouldn't have these American troops there. Why are they here anyway? We don't have a conflict in Ghana. You follow me what I'm saying?
Yes.
You see? And that's some heavy stuff. So they don't want certain things, the Americans, because the American hegemony is holding on to dear life. The world is closing to them. Did you know that Ghana was represented at the BRICS conference that was in Moscow a few days ago?
Yes.
Not Moscow, but outside, a city outside of Moscow. I can't remember the name of the city. I'm sorry.
Right.
All right. The world is changing. The world is changing, you know. And
Yes,
one
it is.
thing, going back to Trump again, he realizes the world is changing. He understands that the Americans cannot be the world policemen any longer. He realizes that our economy is not going to be able to be disseminated all over the world like it once was. He understands that he has to have good relationships for resources from other countries, and that the American military cannot bully people any longer. We don't have the manpower. We don't have the natural resources to continue a long fight. And Russia has more resources than our country had, the United States has, 3 times over. And China has the monetary might to deal with anything that we throw out. So he understands that this is a changing world. And in order for America to survive, it's going to have to get in line as not an adversary, but as a friendlier country that can have differences, but we have to talk. So therefore, we have to talk to North Korea. We have to talk to China. We have to talk to everyone. We can have differences, but you got to have civility in speaking. And that's where this thing is going. So, Lance, I want to thank you for having me on. Maybe we can come on later on today.
I'm free all day. I'll be
Okay.
creating lots of content, you know, and this is a whole new era.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad, this whole time with this race, I felt like a man constipated.
Well, I'm glad you got that
Now
accent.
I'm free.
Yeah. So we'll come on later. I'm going to, after I get some sleep,
You have to get some
people are
sleep.
texting
Sir.
me
What
and
time is it
people
over
are
there? It's
emailing
5
me.
hours behind me.
Yeah, it's 3:30 now in the morning. You know, I wake at 5:10 for prayer.
Right,
So
exactly. It's
yeah,
8:28
so
over here.
yeah.
Bright sunny day. I'm gonna jump on the day. I got a few things here in the house to do, but I'll be creating some stuff, and I'm gonna go live later on too. So just let me know. I'm like a
All right.
fireman. The drop of a boom, you hit me. We'll be on in
Okay.
5 minutes.
All right. Thank you. And thank you
Okay.
to your audience. May God bless all of us. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Good night, my
Have a
brother.
good night.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes. Wow. An impromptu show. The timing was right. I kept getting up in the middle of the night to check my phone, and I fell asleep. The phone was on, so I'm hearing it subconsciously. So I got up in time, and I got his message, and I put two and two together, and I said this will be a great time to go live, even though I know on the East Coast it's in the wee hours, but I know everyone was going to stay up, and this is the best time. So I'm not going to hold everybody longer. I will be coming on live. I may come on live within the next 2 hours and go back on the balcony, face out to nature, and do more stuff. And I'm open for some shows today at the drop of a bucket. But this is how we have to do. And I'm glad that's over. You know, we were having a cookout and we saw some clouds and we had to go in. But now it's a little wet outside, but the sun is shining again. But I wanted to finish my point that the people who revealed themselves to you because of this whole Kamala situation, I'm talking about Black people especially, who were so delusional and not seeing the facts. They didn't see certain things or hear what she was saying when she said, oh no, I'm not going to do anything for Black people that I can't do for anybody else. Like, and then we have, and again, you know, I love my sisters. Yes, Rob, 2:30 in Florida, all up and down the East Coast, you know. Yeah, I'll continue talking. And I'll put the link again if anybody else wants to come on in and vibe. Because I know you all want to go to sleep. There's a link if you want to come on in and chop it up. But the way they were so vindictive, the way they were so, like, they got emotional and didn't want to hear facts. This is what pulled me into speaking so deep on this, because I'm not really known for being some political guy. When I saw the zombie-like effect that it had on us and how so many of our sisters revealed themselves and brothers. But many of our Black sisters, I'm not going to say all, and I'm not against, I'm pro my sisters. There are times in the past that certain specific segments of the population who may be acting ratchet, I'm going to spank them. I'm older now. I think I've earned that position over the years I've been online when you know what I'm all about. And I'm going to call it out. When I started doing that, there are many other sisters says, you can't talk about Black women that way. I don't mean it that way. I mean this specific category. So why would she get Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B and Jennifer Lopez like it was said on other programs? It's so funny that, like, she just went down the Diddy list of people. Exactly, Rob. She's not our sisters. She's not our sister. You know, exactly. Exactly. And thank you, Gifty. I do love Black people, and I miss the days when we vibrated higher. And hopefully those of us who see what can happen, and when you listen to the facts of what Dr. ISSA spoke on, or how we're being attacked and we don't even realize it. Drinking water out of plastic bottles. Atrazine, which effeminizes men and lowers your testosterone. And if we have a low sperm count, we can't procreate, but they push us into pleasure. This is all we see. They've weaponized the algorithms against us. I mean, I go online every day. I'm online now. And if for some reason this line cuts, the power blinks, I'll be back on. Just hold tight. But if they put up a well-developed Black woman who might be dancing with a thong facing away from me, and it's there for a few seconds, and I look at it, I'm not traumatized. I'm a man and I love the female form as an artist because I looked at that thing for 10 seconds. All of a sudden, when I go back online again, whether it's Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, forget TikTok, but they're not part of the American dynamic. All of a sudden, that's all they send me. That's all they send me. Kelly Land, welcome on in. Welcome home. Yep. But this is what I also say. No U.S. president is going to cut your front lawn. No U.S. president is going to do your laundry. No U.S. president is going to feel your hunger pangs when you're hungry. There is a responsibility that we have to do locally, nationally, and internationally to reach out. Because there's still factions of people out there. It doesn't mean that everything is free and clear now. We probably will have even a harder fight on different levels. Trump is where he is. We're where we are. And you're right, Kelly. You're right. I'm going to put up a next comment. Right. We have certain rights that are beyond government. But we still live in this society. And if we're to operate, we have to know what is there and be shrewd. We have our goals as a people, those of us who have goals. But it's not going to work unless we're connected. See, that's the problem with us. I'm not saying you, Kelly, but it's actually 8:36 in the morning. But the thing is, you can purchase the most beautiful, expensive refrigerator, stove, gas or electric, washer and dryer. But if we don't plug in those appliances into the wall, into the current, it's not going to work. So there are many of us who are fragmented because we say the right things, but we're not connected with other people. And this is what I mean by this whole Kamala thing. We should learn from this. Because while we're under attack from so many different angles that we don't even realize, globally, it's happening here. And especially with the propaganda. Mentally, physically, spiritually, we're under attack, yet we're still strong, but we're not strong for ourselves because that's illegal. We're still on the plantation. We still have to whisper and make them not hear us. There are 48 people on this stream right now. They can manipulate the numbers and say there's 1,000. They can say that there are 2 people here. It doesn't matter. I don't care how far ahead on points I am in the fight. I'm going to fight like I'm losing and behind on points. We can't coast right now because now we're not on the plantation physically until you punch that clock. But the bottom line is we are being watched with our activities online, big time. One day, family, I will go on this show, but right now I'm going through a lot of stuff, but I love you, family. We've been through too much, so let these demonic people control us. Thank you so much, Kelly. Thank you so much. Yeah, make sure just anytime, just reach out to me. If I'm free, you coming on whenever you're ready. Sometimes I've done shows, a person calls me, I'm like, okay, let's go now. I got it all set up, you know? But if we don't do what we have to do for ourselves, it's not going to work. This is a start, and we have to hold him accountable. Black men really rose to the occasion, as our sisters, those who were smart enough to understand. And it's not just about him. We just got that Kamala storm out of the way. The Category 10 storm on the Black community. But don't think they'll go away. They're still there. And Trump is not in office yet. So we have to be careful. But Trump or not, we've got to be careful. Let's not drop our guard right now. Because now there's a lot of anger. There are many who revealed their hand. Because when anybody reveals their hand to you and they show you their true character, don't think a smile or, you know, I was just going through. No, you showed your ass. You show what you was about. You can't take that back. Don't be foolish enough. I'm not saying to hate on anybody because they exercise their right to vote for Kamala Harris, but they showed how it is. Look, there are many people I speak to, and they go through the same thing too. They say, you know, I have a friend for years, respectable, decent person, but they spoke on their support of Kamala Harris. And I asked this person, this is not me, I'm paraphrasing, different people just in general, just to make a point. What policies do you favor? And that was a setup question. What policies do you favor that she supports? Oh, I don't want to hear it. Anything other than Trump. Trump is so this, he's a racist, he's a this, Hitler. Oh, wait a second. So it's not about your support of Kamala Harris, it's just that you're anti-Trump. And I'm not saying you have to be in favor of Trump. You could have went for Jill Stein or, you know, Cornel West or whatever other ones were there that I don't know the names of. But give me a reason. So that means you're watching CNN and Headline News, and all of them are liars. They're going to tell a story in a way that favors what they want to have out there. Trust me, things were getting so hot with this race. Let's just make it up and say if somebody was driving down the street in Atlanta and was distracted somehow, or maybe a little kitten jumped out on the road and they swayed away to avoid crushing that cat, but hit someone, right? And the person they hit, once the police were there and the press was there, maybe half a block down, so they're going to capture this now. Possibly have a story of this. And when they interview the person who hit the person, they see a Trump bumper sticker. How do you think they're going to frame that story? Praised Trump supporter hits Democratic Kamala Harris supporter once they find out that that person, they're hit and they're in pain, and they see a Kamala button. They frame the story to fit their needs. This is what we have to understand. You have to question the source. You have to question the messenger. Don't think that everybody's going to go right back to normal. Remember who said what. Don't hold it over them. Put it away on the shelf and understand they're not your friend. Not because they chose a Kamala, but because this Kamala had nothing going on for us. It tapped into that spirit. And all of a sudden, the hidden Jezebels, male and female, they rose to the occasion. How delusional. Look, there's a young lady who's here in Ghana, and she's into politics. And this is the one thing here that I don't do. I'm new here. I don't get into Ghanaian politics. That's not my role. I'm new here. I have my conversations personally with people, but I'm not blasting an anti-this. This is a whole different ball game. It's not my place. This is my home now, but this is not my place. Look, if I came to live in your home and you gave me a room and I'm paying you for the room, or I'm there properly, decently, and I'm in the room now and I decide to come out to the kitchen, and the married couple that lives there that gave me the room to live in, they're having an argument, a disagreement. It's not my role to go in and say, hey, bro, you're wrong. That's not my place. Even though I legally live there, it's not my place because I don't understand the dynamics that were there long before I arrived. But America now, like I've always been speaking, my experience in America, I tell people don't get angry, don't get mad, because this is my experience. I'm not going to smear it over for any reason, and it's not because I got here to Ghana that all of a sudden, oh, you got brave, because there are people who tell me that. February of 2025 will mark me being online in this capacity 24 years, basically a quarter of a century. I've never been afraid to speak my mind, whether it's through a written article, a video, a piece of artwork, going on the street, and I let people talk if it's an opinion they have that's different from mine. But all I'm saying is that these people who cut off relationships and stop talking to you because of Kamala, don't let them come back. Oh, if they, talk to them, but what? Keep them in an arm's length and watch them and observe them. And it's not about politics. It's about being delusional. It's about being sold out. It's about drinking the Kool-Aid. They drank the Kool-Aid and they're not disappearing. There's not many of us who can see what is going on in the world. And this is not about being paranoid. People have always told me, oh, you're so paranoid. When I got online those many years ago, and I've been doing stuff every day ever since, I might miss a day or two, took down the channel, I come back. It doesn't bother me. You can't stop me from being me. I just got smarter with that. Folks thought I was crazy. Oh, yeah, just where are you now? And this is not about me saying I was right or nothing like that, because there are things I was wrong on. I admit that. But if you could go back to some of those old videos from way back, and the comments and all the craziness, we got a problem within our own community, whichever way you look at community. It could be community where it's just your neighborhood. It could be the global community. It could be community of Black women in certain sororities, or Black men who have civil service jobs. We're in multiple communities. How do you see yourself? And this whole election, let us know how some people see themselves and how they see no connection to you. And you go through the same overlapping things that they do. But they don't want to see it. Black people overall, and especially in America and in the world in different ways, right? There's different things going on here, but that's not my place. We are some of the most dysfunctional individuals. I'm not throwing off on anybody here, and if you're mad at me for saying that, well, I don't care. I can prove it. We have proven it to ourselves that we'll quickly go against our own interests because we want to be included in somebody else's agenda. We want to ignore it. I'll say it. I've said it before. You take the whole rainbow situation, and you got Black people who consider themselves part of that pairing. And when they're accepted by those who don't look like them, who are of that flavor, they're not black anymore. I'm rainbow. I don't want to say it a certain way because the algorithms are right there like, go say the word. The algorithms are right there like the referee waiting to stop the fight. Okay, we takes one more blow. We're going to end this. See? Many of us are looking for reasons to not be us. Is it because you're too weak for the fight ahead of you? My thinking is that if I'm not 100% in the fight, I'm not going to run from the fight. I could be 30% and know that I'm only 30%. Maybe I'm physically not right. Maybe I didn't get enough sleep. Maybe whatever. I could be weak. You know what? I'm still going to fight. I'm going out of my shield. I'm giving everything. I'm giving 100% of the 30% that I have. That's the mentality. Forge forward. If we all have that mentality, if you have a man with a gun and he's got 6 rounds ready to fire, and there's 5,000 of us, we all need to move forward, because you know what? Once he understands that, yes, I might hit 6 of them, or the bullet might go through and hit 1 or 2 for each bullet, I can't stop what's coming at me. So you'd be foolish to even shoot. But see, on the front lines, there are too many of us that are scared. Well, not on the front lines, but back behind us. Everybody can't be on the front line. There's some people who are in media who work alongside those who are putting out stuff against us, but it's good that they're in position so they can come back and say, hey, this is what you got to watch out for. But see, we forget with the smiling faces of those who don't have our interests or don't look like us. We believe that illusion and turn our back on our own. Ain't that something? We still hoping and praying for the kumbaya moment. Maybe the kumbaya moment will come. I don't hate anybody. I'm saddened just as much when I see a mother lose her child, no matter what the race is. I'm not going to say, oh, it don't matter because she's white. No. I'm not evil like some of them people who don't care. They see one of us get snuffed. Oh, that's another criminal that's just, and this is not everybody. I'm humane. I'm a spiritual entity. Yes, I'm going to say things sometime that people who will see what little I say in that one soundbite, and they will try to judge me on everything from that. I'm still not going to refrain from saying things. Now, these days, you got to be careful because they're looking to take you out. And I'd rather remain on these platforms and have other platforms that can say, hey, we're going over here where we can really talk. So don't think it's fear for me. Never that. I'm not going out as a punk. I'm not going out as a sellout. And none of us should either. But we see, because of this election, who rose to the occasion to show themselves. Don't you ever forget how delusional some of us could be. And don't you ever forget that overall, I'm not saying anybody specifically here or anyone who's listening or who will listen to this, that we have a heavy amount of toxicity and dysfunction in our race. And there's some people who don't even acknowledge that. They'll tell you, I'm Cuban, I'm Irish, I'm this, I'm that. Okay, we're mixed. I know physically the suit that I'm in has some mixture going on, but what am I in my heart? What am I? How do I identify? We got people identifying as cats. We got people identifying as all kind of stuff. And they're pushing to allow men who put the makeup on the dress. I identify as a woman. Well, you need to have a special I identify as a woman bathroom because you don't need to be going around young girls or women. No. If I go somewhere and Mrs. Scurv is in the restroom in a public place and some man goes in there, well, if that man who has a swinging penis under the skirt can go in there, I can go in there as a man because my wife is in there. I don't feel right and comfortable with this. You let one dick in there, well, this is a dick you're going to let in there too. Sorry to be so lewd. And who got a problem with that? Because I got somebody in there I must protect. And if I ever see a sister who doesn't feel comfortable with something like that, I'm like, listen, I'm letting you know I'm coming in there. I'm not trying to look at what you got. You're behind the stall. When you're done, I'm going to walk you on out of there. Oh, do you have a problem? Yes, I do. What you going to do about it? Like Mike Tyson, what are you going to do about it? No, we need more people. We need more black men to be on point. And a point was brought up on somebody's program because, you know, as I'm editing and doing these banners and coming up with ideas for shows and just doing other stuff, I'll play some things just to keep an ear on what's going on. And it was mentioned that many of these black men who are democratic in their ideology politically, and many who they broadcast as being supporters of the Democratic Party, and they're doing the commentary, how come all these men appear to be soft? I don't have to prove myself as a man, and I got to be hard all the time. I cry. I have a nurturing spirit, but I'm not feminine. I have a nurturing spirit in a masculine way. My father had that. He was strong. He was male and masculine. But when I was a little boy, if something happened, he would nurture me if my mother would, and my mother did too, of course. But he was not some beta male simp for the establishment. I've seen him knock people out cold. I've seen him deal with situations and straighten it out with no fear at all. And here I am, 5, 6 years old. He was my superhero. And he had his muscles and he worked out when he was younger and boxing and all of this stuff, but he had it here. So what did I do? I'm walking around like I had muscles too, didn't have nary a muscle. But that was my blueprint. That was my guide. That's who I fashioned myself after. And black manhood in 2024, and it was going back from many decades ago, is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. We need more men. And then they want to say that masculinity is toxic. No, it's necessary. It's a toxic situation when you remove the masculine energy, the righteous masculine energy. I'm not talking about some man who comes home, hey girl, you better have my food ready. Hey girl, I know you worked all day and you're cleaning up and you dealt with the kids to put them to sleep, but you better give me that thing. No, have some consideration, man. Let us sleep. Proper righteous masculinity that's guided by wisdom. And when you're with someone, you have to compromise. You better wait you better have to wait for the weekend for them kind of activities, man. She's tired. Make her know that you love her and you support her. Make her feel secure with you. And those other things she'll want to comfort you with because she sees that you don't see her just one way. Masculinity toxic? And even if they don't say it, we have some who feel that way and will show it. Look at how they've used the internet and these social media experiment platforms. See, they left out the experiment word. How with us as Black people in America and beyond, What we see is what we believe. You go to the movie and you see a plane coming at you because they had the shot of the plane coming close to the camera. It could be special effects. It could be something real. And you feel like it's going to crash into you because you're believing the illusion that was created for you to see, but you know this is an illusion, but you enjoy the fact that you reacted that way because it had your adrenaline pumping and it puts you in an experience. And this is why we go to movies, because we want an experience. But too many of us, when we see the official American flag up, but I mean, I put the American flag up because of the content today, this morning. But the illusion of what is put on social media in an engineered way, in a very convincing way, we believe. You go on certain programs and they have it set up just like it's a news. It's suited up and today so and so. So you don't know the source of it. You don't know. Like I said before, things are slanted a certain way. You just gobble it up. 2 different news platforms will tell the same story, but it will be slanted a certain way. Just like I said, when the guy hit the person in the car, they slanted it as a political thing. It may not even be that, but they chose to do it that way. And we accept it. And this is why our minds are so messed up and we're against each other. I don't see Chinese. I don't know. The Chinese man no good. He no good. They lazy. They want to have multiple girlfriend. I don't care. I don't need Chinese man. Our Chinese woman, they whores. They want me for money. No, they got their family structure. I'm not saying they're perfect. I'm not saying they're above us. They probably, as Americanized as some of them are getting, they might have those issues, but they push this stuff on us. And we sit here and soaking up this stuff. You might be a young lady who did deal with a black man who was lazy, who had criminal tendencies, who had babies all over the place. Yes, we have them. I'm not trying to paint black men as being some perfect thing, but that's some of them. That's not all of them. And the good ones outnumber those few. Yeah. But because of our conditioning, now we're being conditioned and weaponized against each other. The men are looking at the women as playthings. Because that's all you see. Let's just be real. I'm going to say it. That's all you see is ass. We all get horny. Some of us have no control. So wait for the appropriate time. But it's pushed on us. And when we see that, oh, the black woman don't like the black man, but I sure like that ass. You're not trying to, in your mind, you meet somebody who is decent and worthy of being a lifetime mate. Whether you say marriage or we're not going to go the paper route, but we're going to commit to each other because we all know that man and woman, I'm going to say it, not just from the South, but traditionally from the South where they had common law marriages. They done been together so long, you're shocked when you find out they don't have their piece of paper. But the man never cheated on her. She never cheated on him. She never put him down. They ran a household. They have kids together. He brought the money home. They work together. We have a role, and media now is doing this, pulling it apart. Well, you don't need that, man. You have your career. You have money. And see, they tell you that we're just looking at you for pleasure, and there are a lot of black men out here like that. That's why you need to take your time. But isn't it funny? When you get into those worlds, what does that man who gave you that position, maybe not him specifically, but those in that world who don't look like you, they want you for your pleasure. The black woman is fetishized, whichever way you want to say it. They ain't saying nothing, but you got to overhear them. Have you had a black yet? Oh, I'm having a black gal. I want to try one out. It's like you're talking about some cake in a bakery and and you try that cake is good. I'm gonna go down there and buy one and try one out. Are you human the way they look at you? They don't look at you like you're human. You know? We put this up on the front. Kelly Land says, that's one thing I can say about Asian Indian families, no matter where they come from, even if they come from a third world country, they're going to make it. And see, we've come through so much. We made it already. We came all this way to fall apart all this time. You see, when we go on YouTube and different social media platforms, we see the memes and we see the, Malcolm, and Martin, Marcus, Garvey, Medgar Evers, and just, it's like Malcolm said those things yesterday. Not yesterday, all those years ago, just yesterday. That's a long time ago. That's a long time ago. What are we doing now with what we were taught? You ever know someone who went to school and did really well, went to college and came out and just fell flat? There are jobs out there. There's a career path out there for them. But they were programmed with all this information, but they don't think. I'm not saying everybody who went to school, but they don't think. Technically, I'm a high school dropout. I willingly walked out because I could not take the racism in the art school that was there. I wasn't kissing up to them people. I went and got a GED and whatever, fine. And I say that in a proud way because I never lost the hunger to learn the way I was raised. And I think I did well because there's no one or no conversation that I couldn't add something into or be able to represent myself. I read, I listen, I talk, I converse. I'm hungrier or just as hungry as I've ever been to learn, to write, to execute, to vibrate. Not just a lump of educated programmed flesh. Plump. I'm looking for a job in the system. I am the system. I am my system. This place is not finished yet. They got work going on here. But look, I'm going to show y'all. Look at what I'm looking at. Look at what I'm looking at. Come on, y'all. You got these people talking about, oh, look. This is a catwalk right here, y'all. It's not finished yet. But look at what we're doing. Huh? Show and prove. I know I'm not going to be able to put this camera right. It's not a brag thing. I know how to think. I know how to plan. I know how to execute. To come to another country, that's just a piece of it. I don't really show. That's not finished. I come out of this catwalk and look over my living room. I'm like, the world is mine. Forget the balconies. Get a little piece. I'll show you a little cleavage. I ain't going to show the whole breast. I don't have breasts, y'all. Tease you with it. But I get off on my own, not accomplishments, because it's the Creator that gave me the strength and the mind and the wherewithal and the folks who support me, and I could not do this by myself, and I've had lots of support. Y'all know who you are. But that's to show you. I'm not up here tomorrow, hit the Cash App, hit the Cash App. People have hit the Cash App. People have hit the Zelle yesterday. Am I out here trying to get rims on a car I don't have? I'm sacrificing now. I'm living in a construction site. Because it's not even that I believe, I say, oh, I believe in the Lord. No, I know of the God force that's inside of me. And you're not going to stop me. People yabba run their mouth. I'm a doer. I got a lot of work to do while creating content. The sacrifice it takes. Did I wait for a president to give me this? It started with a thought, and then a plan, and then movement toward that. And folks want to say, yes, he got that money, so and so and so. No. Took what we had from America and dropped it here in fashion, and still a little bit at a time. Because ain't nothing done yet. Ain't no tiles on the floor yet. But we don't think methodical. We don't think long term. We don't think with vision. We think that it's going to come externally because we've been trained that way. Everything is external. How can you resonate with God if you have nothing of God inside of you? So you believe the illusions of what's put to you on social media, on TV. That's why back in the day they used to say TV programming. This is real. Ain't nobody gave it to me. The support, yes. But we all have the wherewithal within ourselves to visualize a reality, what you want, as long as it's in line with righteousness. And then you got to work damn hard to make it happen. It doesn't come easy. This didn't come easy. But I just don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm almost out the tunnel because I was not afraid to make the leap, which was for me and my wife. I can't push what your reality should be. See? I'll never do that. You know what it is that you like. We both go into the restaurant. You look at the menu, I look at the menu, and you choose what you want. So we're all happy. But stop letting things keep you in this delusional state. And then we give our God force energy to these people who don't give a damn about us. Ain't that something? Now they want to hide now. And the very one who you were rallying behind, I'm not saying anybody here, wherever, and if it fits, if the shoe fits, that's what it is. But you put all your faith in her. And it showed me what you're all about. It's like the times when I'm with friends back in the day, walking down the street, might be 2 or 3 of us. And we see 10 or 15 guys walking up on us. They're minding their business, but the way they're acting rowdy, it might be a problem. It's 2:30 in the morning, nobody around. It's a weeknight too. And so when some of them started to scream and make their noise or whatever, one of the brothers who was with me, he ran. Okay, I'm not going to forget that. But because the other one who was left with me stood tall, we didn't have a problem. Because when they made their threats, I said, okay, who will be the first one to get it? I'm willing to get my behind whipped. Do you want that? Y'all got girlfriends. Don't you want to go to your girlfriend and make love? Don't you want to feel good? You want to be rolling around in the dirt with me? I surely don't want you all up on me. I don't go that way. But if you bring it, I'm going to do it. Let's gamble. Let's see. I take care of myself. Let's see. Look at you over there. Look at this one here. You sure you want that? I can get beat too, but I'm willing to. And this is the attitude we have to have in life. There will be obstacles. There will be challenges. There will be things that seem so overwhelming. But the fact of the matter is, when you look back on your personal life, and I don't know the personal lives of everybody here, the people that I talk to, and I know, you all know more about me than I know about you, put it that way. Because I put my stuff out there to a point. But you got to understand, look back on your life, and I know I'm saying the truth without even knowing the specifics of what you've gone through. But look back on your life, and you tell me the things, okay, if you're 50 years old, you can go back 35 years when you're 15. We'll adjust that. So I'm not going to say an age. All I'll say, it's all relative. And at what struck fear in you half a lifetime ago, or 3/4, because see, I can go way back. It doesn't strike fear in you now. It may not be comfortable. It may not be pleasant. But you know, oh God, I'm afraid. Oh God, oh, no, I can't deal with it. Now you face it. I've dealt with birth, my children. I've dealt with what people call death. My parents who raised me, and you see them. I've dealt with having lots of money many decades ago and certain times, or lots of money for me relatively. And I've dealt with being so broke that I was a night away from being homeless. And miracles happen, circumstances. So I've had a lot from the buffet of life. And I know that you have had your fair share of experiences. And some, we get certain experiences early on. We get certain experiences later on. We have things that shape and mold us. And this is why we have to have consideration with others in this world to try to understand, how does this person think? What is it that made them the way they are? How do they react this way? What is their perception of me? I've met a woman one time who we would run into each other on a regular basis. We lived in the same neighborhood. I didn't know her. And one day we were in a supermarket and she turned to speak to me. But she was apprehensive. And so we began to talk and get to know each other. It wasn't anything romantic. But then before we left the store, she said, you know, I didn't know you were such a nice guy. I said, well, did I do anything to make you think that I wasn't a nice guy? Thank you so much, Kelly, for the comment. It's a rough city, y'all, especially back in the day. It's punkified now, New York City. Not all, I'm not saying people in New York City are punks. I'm saying, let me get back to that story. I'm saying it's so now, people who are not even from that city, they get the hat, New York with the Yankees logo on it. Now they're hard. It's out here in Ghana. You got dudes wearing the hat, no problem wearing the hat, and they walk and look at me. Don't look at me like that. You from there? Do you know? It is the same thing in Philadelphia, Chicago, Detroit, Atlanta, Miami, Los Angeles, Compton, wherever. Wisconsin, you got some places that are hard. But back in the day type New York, don't front. You don't have a clue. But now it's a status symbol for people who just want to purchase their blows. They ain't an inch of that city. I don't know. They in a place I haven't been. I'm nosy. I wanted to go up and see what was going on. I went up in buildings. Oh my God, look at this, look at that. There ain't nothing I'm saying it ironically, there ain't nothing I never saw in New York City. My eyes have seen it all. I never traveled the world, but we're talking life situations. I'm not saying I saw every single thing that happened there. That's why I can talk the way I do. There's no college to teach me what I've been through, what I've seen. And it helps me to understand myself even more. And there's so many of us that don't even take the time to self-reflect. I don't know if you can hear, but there's birds on the roof that fly down. And, you know, before these homes in this area were built, these birds were here and they're almost like, listen, this is our territory. We're going to land on your roof all night and keep you up. But we need to clean house, clean the filters, learn ourselves more. We are our own inner universe, or innerverse, as I like to say. Yeah, it's been rough, but you know what? It's made us to be who we are now. And while I don't look the way I did 40-something years ago, I wouldn't trade anything in the world for what I know now and how I find myself comfortable with myself, knowing myself better. And hopefully, we all will strive to be better with ourselves tomorrow, better than we are today. Even if we just learn a little bit or understand why. Like me, deep in self-reflection yesterday. I wanted to do more content, but the guys who were doing some work here, I had to go downtown with them. So I had to cut everything short. That's why I put up 50 million shorts yesterday. And it was time for me to do a live show. I was like, I told everybody, I was like, I'm going live before I go to sleep. That's all she wrote. I woke up hearing that Trump won. But we have to be ready for the things that come at us unexpectedly in this world. But the more we know life, the more we see how precious it is and how we need to spend it in a way to make ourselves better. So many people work on themselves externally. They want to keep it. Look, I'm not against nice things, because I told Mr. Scurv, I said, listen, a certain time, very soon, I'm going to start going out more, doing more things, not going out to hang out and just whatever. There's things I want to do with interviews and people I'm connected to. I'm not ready yet. So listen, I'm going to dress a certain way. I'm going to get my teeth fixed up. I'm realist. We're going to get the imagery right, not to be superficial, but we know how the world is when they see you. Oh, that nigga built that big house, but he ain't got no car. I don't need one right now. I do priorities, what's needed at the time. What's needed at the time. There's too many of us who are living for other people. Oh man, you got that? I need to get one too. Oh, my phone is old. You just bought the new one? I'm gonna wait a few months and get a bit better model phone than you. But you're no better off. You have all of these things around you. See, me, I'm more precious than this house that we've been building. I can walk away from this. I'm not saying this in an ego way, but Mr. Scurv and I built this place. We're the creators of this. We can create somewhere else. They can take a YouTube channel down. You're not stopping what's inside of me and the way I talk, because this is me. You didn't take away the source. This is why so many of us freak out, because, oh, I lost this status. I lost this job. My house was foreclosed on. This person broke up with me. Oh, well, it hurts. But if you've been working on yourself, just like you work on a relationship and you love this person, but you're not going to reach so far where you lose balance in who you are. You see, I love boxing. In the sport of boxing, you have a thing called range. And if my arm is stretched out as far as a jab is concerned, and you're 2 feet beyond that, I'm wasting my energy. You don't reach, you wait. You use your footwork to make you navigate, to come in range and out of range. See, a fighter who has a strong right hand and you want to avoid it, you move right. Because ain't nobody going to turn their body and hit you with their legs facing the other way. They got to reset their feet. So you have to know how to cause the opposition to reset its feet so it doesn't mount an attack on you. Tactical. Look at what you're working up against. There's some certain days when just everything seems to go wrong. I'm like, okay, every challenge, I don't want to say problem, has a solution. I just don't know it yet. I trust that I have the wherewithal that there's nothing that can be thrown on me that I can't handle. You don't go to first grade elementary school and they throw college books at you. Everything is gradual. What is the lesson in this when you face opposition? Because I'm a late bloomer. I know some guys been successful in life from 35 years ago. You know what I mean? I'm an ingredient. I'm a part of the meal in life that maybe had to stay in the oven a little longer, right? If you're making a Thanksgiving, I'm saying Thanksgiving because we know about that. We understand the history of Thanksgiving, so I'm not saying that. But you don't make the salad. You didn't even throw the turkey in yet. Oh yeah, I'm gonna make the salad first. I'm putting the dressing on there. That's some soggy salad. So just like we can learn from a chef, certain things go in at certain times when it has to cook longer. And there are things that you've been through in this life that you didn't understand what it is, but sometimes you're driving on the road and a song reminds you of that time. It brings you back. And the answer comes, why you broke up. The answer happens to come to you why you couldn't stand this particular person, their energy. So just because you don't understand something in life right now, in your personal life, doesn't mean you won't figure it out. And sometimes it's not worth it to try to beat your head down and figure it out right now. The answer will come. It will come. You have to be positioned to have the wisdom, and life will teach you that. But work on yourself. If you take a loss, understand maybe it wasn't really a loss. Gifty said, eating salad now. I have a little camera. I can see you eating salad right now. So this is what has helped me to hold on. I've been through a lot. I'm not even saying what I've been through is worse than what you've been through, because a lot of folks here, I may not know the specifics. But according to the man-made engineered world, I'm a ghost. I shouldn't be here. You still here? You still striving? You still strong? I enjoy that. I don't enjoy getting hit, but I enjoy coming back, which really is not a comeback. Like LL Cool J said, don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. You might move in a way where you're laying low a little bit here and there, but I'm here. I ain't going nowhere. And even when I transition, my energy will be somewhere. This order of nature and God is too perfect for me to, if I'm living righteously and connected, for me to be banished. See? And it's not even, oh, I believe. No, I know that. From way back, when my organs only had one use, meaning that you're 7, 8 years old, you're not thinking about using your organ for anything else except to go relieve yourself. It's only when you get older and you're like, hey, yeah, I just throw something crazy in there. But my parents are putting things inside of me still, things that I can use. And this is why when they transitioned, I had no choice but to realize, okay, symbolically, I have these 2 arms. But when they transitioned, it's like boom, boom, boom. I had more arms, not necessarily arms, but there's a certain thing that when your parents do right by you, and now they may have transitioned, you remember everything that they put inside of you, and you realize they left you with something on the inside to continue on in life. And if it's not your parents, somebody did. Somebody taught you something. You observed something. So sometimes being humans, we miss that person who has graduated on to the next level. You know, you're in school, you have buddies who might be a grade or 2 more than you. They graduate. They're in another school right now, or they may be out of school altogether, right? What, are you going to cry? Because I'm not saying you can't cry when somebody transitions, but you realize that, wow, now I'm out of school and I'm still hanging with them. They're still there. It's just that you have to go through the process. To bring it back to Kamala again, how many people missed out on the process properly of life, of critical thinking? To look at this cackling woman who does not want to answer any questions. Look, I'm transparent on a YouTube channel. If I was running for the presidency, I'm going to tell everything. I'm going to tell you the F-ups. I'm going to tell you what I think of victories. I'm going to tell you what made me, I'm totally transparent then. My opponent won't be able to say anything about me that I can't say for myself. Hey, Lance, man, I heard you used to do. Yes, I did. You want to interview me on that? I might make the interviewer run away. I'll be so transparent. Oh my God, I can't believe you said that. And run. I got friends when I say, Lance, I don't know about you, man. You have no shame. I've never seen you shame. No, no. I'm not going to let shame rule over me. You're not going to use shame to embarrass me. Oh God, don't say that. No. I messed up a couple of times. I broke a few hearts. I was never venomous. Most people say, man, you've always been a good guy, but I'm human too. I've had my problem with certain types of lust and certain types of things. Heck, I was molested by a female cousin older than me, about 30 years. There's certain things I like to do. I'm going to shut up after that because it was imprinted in me. But I'm upfront with that. I'm at ease with myself. This is why I can do this stuff day in and day out. I'm not trying to, well, I have to say it this way because I want to come off this way. I don't, look, if you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. Some people get on social media, I want millions of, you ain't gonna make millions like you. In your own personal life, everybody don't like you. Even in your own family, there might be some people in there, you think they like you, they may love you, but if you think they like you, they can't stand you sometimes. That's how it is. It's not for me to spend my energy to sit here to be liked. If everybody like you, somebody's lying to you. Put it that way. So I really don't care about that. I'm not going to waste my life force on that. See, that's what it's all about. I'm not going to waste my life force. Please like me, please like me. As long as I love myself and love those who I know who are in my inner circle, who have my back and I have theirs, ride or die, that's what we show and prove. And people change. Licenses expire. People can change. So I'm going to keep my license current with those who I love and those who I support. And I'm going to keep it current with the ones I don't want around me. Yes, there are people who I do not want around me, who I know what's in their heart. I know how they do. No, I don't want that energy around me because you're going to turn them in, you know, hey, man, hey, Scurv, man, I stole this laptop out of somebody's house, man. I'll give it to you for a good price. So what you think when my laptop is gone? Who do I think did it? It works both ways. I don't invite certain energies into my life. And if I see you a certain way, no. I don't. This universe is perfectly balanced. And I'm going to run in a little while because I do have to deal with some guys that are going to be coming here soon. I'm up. You all will pretty much be sleeping and I'll still be up, but I'll fall asleep before. That's how it is right now. 5 hours between here and in the East Coast. But as long as I come, boom, doom, doom, keep throwing stuff out, you're like, God, dog, I was sleeping. He did all that. And the time is coming for even more. And I'm not even caught up like, I want to have all this content. But I set up my life in a way where it's easy and I can do other things, right? Because I dedicated my life, not my whole life where I'm doing nothing but sit in the house and do content. No. But I'm so deep in this after almost a quarter century, well, make it easy. Since I know I'm going to do this. So if I invest in something or a piece of equipment or a studio or whatever, Mr. Scurv will say, yeah, go ahead. This is what you do. Like, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to get a drop top red Lamborghini? I'm too busy for a midlife crisis. Look, April, I'm turning 62. If I didn't get it from my 40s and 50s, I'm not going to change now. Consistency. I did so much in my 20s. Memory alone will keep me from a midlife crisis, if you know what I mean. What's that going to do for me? Because all that didn't do nothing for me. So give me experiences. Some things we just need not to go back to. That will every now and then come tapping you on the shoulder. You looking at social media. Oh my God. Nah. You know what that's all about. And like I said, we're separated. I'm jumping all over the place. My mind is starting to race even more. Means I got to start multitasking because that's how I get. I'm fully awakened now. But I want to finish up a last point that I made that it was open-ended. How social media pushes a wedge between us as a people, male and female. The women are talking about how bad the men are. The men are talking about how bad the women are. And how are we going to come together? And then we're having children, and the children are hearing this. And so now they're armed with a mindset that's destructive that will always keep them away from finding someone. But the only way to find someone for you is not the superficial. I want a man who drives a nice car and got a nice six-pack and all the superficial stuff. How do you know how he got that car? Why not speak about a person who could be a good provider legitimately? You just want to have the dessert before the meal. And this is why we end up in the mess that we end up in. Right? So social media has conditioned us a certain way. We're not thinking about running a good home with a, and I say good woman because I'm a man. I know nothing about that other stuff. A good home, not just a good house. House is cool. I've worked all my life, and that American system is not going to nickel and dime me into poverty or being in some little small, no. I'm going out. Not just the house, but the home. And a man and a woman, I don't know about nothing else, but a man who has developed himself, worked on himself. For those brothers who are single, I know you're going to get involved in your little things, but keep it knowing what it is and be honest with what it is also. Don't lie to our sisters. Let's be real. But you're preparing yourself for that one that is out there that you don't know yet, but you make yourself better. Don't wait. Waste your time hovering on a certain level, on a carnal, hedonistic level. Hey man, I be getting all that ass. But how much better are you now? Prepare yourself for the one who is there somewhere. And the Creator's not going to allow you to have that person until you're ready. And lots of times we know that person, but we're not ready within ourselves. We repel them away. Sometimes we make decisions to say, okay, we're going to be in this career. I'm going to dedicate and I have goals. Nothing wrong with that. It's not for everybody to have the same life. I'm just rambling, y'all. Old school. Them old school shows that used to go on a long time. We're going to have some of those too. I promise that. But we're so conditioned. The main thing I ask everybody is what conditioning is thrown on us that is not good for us, that didn't come from us, that didn't come from the God force. What are we walking around with? Knocking my microphone off. What are we walking around with that is not conducive to us being an improved version of ourselves? Move closer to the mic. An improved version of ourselves that's bogging us down and keeping us away from the life that we deserve. Not everybody deserves the good life because you didn't earn it. You're put here, you're alive, but many are not living. We're alive. If they have a pulse, his heart is beating, he's breathing, he's alive. But are you living? And we're lied to by the things projected in this social media experiment that we think we have to have. But we're still alive, but we're not living. You don't need some of these things. We go because we see, oh, they're happy because, how do you know they're happy? The material item is like an exoskeleton, something that's on the outside. The hell with what people think. I got a joke about my dirty Crocs. It's not paved around the house yet. I walk out there. There's dust in here from the work being on. I got nice shoes packed away. But when I want to run out and do some work or whatever, I clean the Crocs off, but they're dirty. I wash myself and go to bed, then sometimes the Crocs are still dirty. And I'm going back out in the dirt. Look. Let's show and prove. Dirty Crocs, y'all. Look, dirty. Look at it. It's of the construction, y'all. Who does that? But I do that so I can have this. Am I rich? No. I make certain decisions financially. Okay, I'm going to push and do this now. All of a sudden you get alert. Oh, overdraft protection. Oh, your account will below zero. Oh man, let me take it and transfer this. And it's not like I'm sitting here. Oh, he's in Africa. The animals are friendly with him. All the fruits are there. No. I go outside and get caught in the rainstorms too. I got to get off the van sometime, way out in the country. Hey, listen, let me off. Why do you want to? There's nothing out here. Listen, you don't want me in your van now. I got to go. You got to think on your feet and think as you go along, but you got to make sure it's worth the effort and know yourself. On that note, I'm going to wrap it down. There's no script in this. It started out one way about the election and Trump's victory. But of course, you know, I'm going to give you a little more when I can. And I just want to thank you all for being here and the support of you being here. Most of us have it tight. Most of us have it a certain way. So that there to share the links, and those who do want to throw a little something, whatever, is not going to be used. No foolishness. It's going to keep this going. And I really appreciate that. But your life force is the main thing, you know. And maybe there's a little kid out there listening to this stuff and said, I can't believe he said that. But they put a thought in their head that may not manifest for 15 years. They may go and mess up. But keep putting out the positive energy. Keep being real with your life lessons, because there's somebody out there that needs it, that may not be confident within themselves to ask because they're embarrassed, because they may feel like, oh man, they're going to think lowly of me because I made that mistake. You know what I mean? I can tell you some funny stories. There are times when I made misjudgments and times when I thought I did, and just being human, when you can come to terms with that, people will vibrate with you because, you know, they went through the same things too, but they never want to say anything. And that's the joy and beauty, and I'll say this before I leave, of true comedians, true comics. They say the things that you don't want to say that you've been through. Because when they're telling you a joke, you already know the scenario of the joke, if it's not even exactly that situation, but the overall, you know, flavor of that joke you understand. And the reason why you laugh is because, oh my God, he said something that I didn't really want to say. I was listening to, I won't even say, this boxing channel, but the guy's a comedian. He was talking about how he was in the public restroom and got in there and there was no paper. And he wanted to come out, but he had to go into another store to get paper. And he waited for the bathroom to get empty. And he just said, he had his pants around his ankles, so he decided to go out and grab the paper in the next stall, but the paper fell to the ground. So he had to bend over and get it, but his pants were around his ankle. And 3 gay dudes walked in there and he got caught. He was like, man, I didn't think that when I woke up this morning, I would be bent over in a bathroom, backside out, everything hanging, for these 3 gay guys to see. And the one gay guy said, oh, I thought it was an invitation. He said, man, I was so embarrassed. But who would say that? Just anything. Like me, I tell my stories. I'm not going to sit here and not let somebody get the laugh or the benefit of it. You know, I'm going to run now, y'all. Just want to say I love you all so much. And thanks for being here and vibing. And Dr. V. ISSA for coming on through. And let me see something here. There's a message that I missed. Yeah. Get some sleep, y'all. It's I can play my Bill Withers song, A Lovely Day. It's 9:42 right now. And really, the way I'm living now, that's late. I woke up pretty late for me, you know, but we're going to get a lot done, and I'll be back on. I'm going to do some shorts, do some stuff out there, get something to eat, freshen up, wash off my Crocs, because I'm going to re-dirty them again. Because we know we're not going to be at the ultimate manifestation of ourselves all the time. We don't have to walk around that way. You know, when you're chiseling off marble to create a beautiful sculpture, the floor around you is going to be dusty and chips of marble are going to be there. What process are you in to make yourself better, right? We all should be in some process, sometimes in several ways, mentally, physically, and spiritually, so that we're better tomorrow. We'll thank ourselves from yesterday to think about the future. That's the only way it's going to work. Don't let this social media brainwash you, sway you. You have your own mind. Your creator gave it to you. Use it. Use it. Use it. Thank you, Rob. Thank you all for being here. So many names have come through. I think I mentioned most of you here. I see you. I I'm going to jump on. I'm just so glad that we did this. And just to start the day off with this is wonderful. You know, it's a great thing. But let me run. And I'm going to go. And I will talk to you later on. There's going to be a lot of stuff. It's early. We're having a good day today, content-wise, right? So anyway, take care, y'all. Much love. LanceScurv out. Peace.
Hello, this is Martha. Actually, today I got to meet my friend Lance. Yes, I got to meet my friend Lance. This is my first time meeting him in person, and he's a very kind man, seriously. I do talk with him on phone, on WhatsApp, but I've never got to meet him. But today, he's just extraordinary. He's very, anything you want to know about life, anything you want to know about just human, anything you want to know about life, please. YouTube, Telegram, Instagram, Twitter, all the social media channels, you got to find him there. He's very inspiring. He's very positive. If you want anything positive about life, please subscribe to LanceScurv. And then every day you got to see different videos, different talks, different topics about life. See you.